nothing. That's right. I came as a hero piece to make friendship between Chinese and Japanese a reality. At this rate, there'll be a war. But in times like these, as the Japanese saying goes, rain strengthens the ground. To avoid war on both sides, we should display our friendship and get along. At least that's my theory. I'm all for that. We realize that the wage differential is putting a lot of pressure on the GDS. Good. That's why we discussed a deal for the special offers of windows with Lee. Oh, you mean the Chinese labor union you proposed? If you establish a union for your countrymen and receive their wages, and raise their wages, I believe this issue will be resolved. That's certainly true for City 23's Chinatown, but that won't save City 22's Chinatown. If Chinese people from City 22 rush into City 23's Chinatown looking for jobs, we'll just get a repeat of the old employment agency problem. In other words, with this Chinese labor union you propose, only some of the Chinese will be saved, and in the end, everyone will grow more dissatisfied. Now I think we'll be fine. You sure this isn't a trap to create unrest in Chinatown? You see, you might suspect something of the sort. That's not why we proposed it. Primavera had been negotiating with Lee as the leader of the City 23's Chinatown. However, from the GDS's perspective, both City 22 and 23's Chinatown were their own turf. They couldn't possibly afford to treat their countrymen in City 23 well, while forcing low wages on their countrymen in City 23, or 22. Yeah, but that's the whole fucking meme. Well, why can't you just establish a labor union in City 22 then? No. Yeah, exactly. Get the fuck out of here, loser. In the past, when Lee had shown interest in a deal for Primavera's special offer of windows, he'd been aware that would create a wage difference between 22 and City 23. However, he had assumed that improving City 23 wages would help create pressure to raise wages in City 22 as well. Thinking of this as a card to use against the Council of Elders, who controlled the city, controlled City 22, special offers windows, he'd maneuvered behind the scenes with the young lord. But the Council of Elders made the first move and sent Wang in. The Japanese labor union is saying all the Japanese in Primavera's turf. However, the Chinese labor union you propose couldn't save all the Chinese in the GDS turf. Why not? See, it's unfair, isn't it? Right? It's not my fucking fault you guys don't know how to run a fucking city. Suck my cock. I want Rose to say that word for fucking word, by the way. How strange, it's not fair. He is a very difficult man for Rose to deal with. Rose, please, for the love of God, do not fall for this absolute level of horseshit that he is shoveling in your face. Please, Rose, you are so much better than this. Even though this was supposed to be a serious contest, he made it seem like he was flippant drunk, playing around. He is. Richard, intent on getting sucked into his opponent's ring, spoke a bit more sharply than before. Forgive me, but I believe we're straying slightly from the point. Oh, you think so? I sure wish you'd point out what you mean. We have done nothing but obtain the City 23 specials offers windows, and within the scope of that privilege return those profits to our countrymen. However, out of a concern that this would affect the Chinese living in the same city, we have made this proposal. The topic of this discussion is the City 23 specials offers windows. We are in no position to comment on the City 22 specials offers windows. We do this out of respect for those who hold the City 22 special offers windows. Richard? Oh, forgive my rudeness. To be frank, I believe the special offers windows are something that ought not to exist in the first place. They do nothing more than swindle money for wages that would have gone to laborers. But on the other hand, we can't ignore the fact that they've supplied large amounts of funds, which were used to stabilize organizations for the protection of one's countrymen. With that money, the GDS gained, and if its work has served to repay all its countrymen, then I can't easily claim that the special offers windows are evil. Please don't believe him. Please, Rose, please. He's lying. However, at the moment, both we and the GDS have firmly solidified our bases. Don't you think it's about time for the special offers windows to finish serving their purpose? Isn't that just Primavera's opinion? We're free to follow that ideal when it's within the scope of the special offers windows you hold. But such brazen interventionism to try and force those views on the GDS as well. You realize it's fair game to interpret that as an attack, don't you? Fuck off. If it's a fucking war you want, dude, bring it. Anyway, no matter what Primavera's intent may be, your policy of high wages is in effect an attack against the GDS. If you continue to continue on this path after having this explained to you, the GDS will be forced to read this as you waging economic war on us. Good. I hope you do. So be it. Rose. An attack isn't determined by one initiating it. It becomes from the claims of the one receiving it. Begins from the claims. I'm fully aware that you are a lady worthy of respect, with a beautiful heart. However, regardless of what your intentions are, there's some things that people interpret as attacks. I ask that you remember this. Yeah, and you know what else is an attack on us? You stealing our fucking soy sauce. Bam! That's how you fucking throw it down. If you even mention attacking us one more goddamn time, we will blow the fucking doors off your house. Anywhere. I'll go off. You aren't ready for this. Yep. I think it's just a little, as Little Mai said. There no malice on Primavera's side. They were all for innocently improving the lives of the countrymen. After looking into Rose's eyes, I'm sure of it. Primavera has no intention of waging war. Wang, whose words had been sharply critical until now, suddenly switched to a warm expression. Sending temperature, fuck. Rose and Richard couldn't help but be bewildered by the sudden change in temperature. Negotiation tactic. Madame Rose really was a benevolent person. Those short-tempered elders on the council just had a slight misunderstanding. You're a splendid lady and a splendid new leader who can guide the Japanese into the future. Because what he's going to do is, he's saying like, oh, you agreed, you said you weren't going to go to war. Wang rose to his feet and began to speak with even more dramatic gestures. He was just like an opera singer, speaking eloquently on the stage. Then he walked up to Rose and suddenly grabbed her hands as though they were inviting her to dance. I believe we can solve this misunderstanding and make up. For that cause, let's walk together. Like this. Take my hand. No, fuck off, dude. Yes, I think that sounds wonderful. When people walk together, it means they care about and respect each other. If we let them see us walk together, then I'm sure even the elders will become Primavera's allies in a flash. How will we show that we're walking together? Wang stopped and, still holding Rose's hand, kneeled as though proposing to her. First, the GDS will walk up to Primavera. Until now, we've only considered the lifestyles of our Chinese brethren. No, I do not like this idea. Whatsoever. Them getting closer to us is all fucking bad. It's like a fucking octopus over here, spreading its tentacles. We don't need that shit. But we'll change that way of thinking. We'll also consider the lifestyle of Primavera's Japanese countrymen. I swear that Chinatown will cooperate even more, so that the lifestyle of City 23 can maintain a rich lifestyle. Thank you very much. We at Primavera also want to work hard to contribute to the lives of the Chinese. Fuck the Chinese. Is that so, Madame Rose? You truly are magnificent. La 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 la. If you can show that you're walking alongside us in a visible way, you'll win over the Council of Elders in no time. In what sort of visible way? By showing through your attitude that you're willing to resolve this problem with respect for us. Attitude. fuck them. You're being a bit roundabout. Let's have some details. You do love being direct, Richard. This strange farce has continued so long that even Madame Rose is flustered. Let's get to the point. It sounds like the GDS wants either war or submission. What do you want us to do for the latter case? I'm not submitting. You really do stick your knife straight to the core. If you aren't a bit more roundabout, you'll never be able to marry a girl. Girls just hate it when you go straight to the point with no foreplay. I mean, true. That part at least is true. Oh, if you already married, my apologies. No, I'd like to ask us the same question. Wang, I realize that you're aiming for either war or submission. However, neither of us wishes for war. Is there anything I'm misunderstanding? You are correct. This is the same as the old tribute. If you display your respect, we will give you even more in return. China and Japan have gotten along well that way for years, haven't they? And what is this respect to which you refer? Little my, if you will, I'd rather it not come from my lips. You've got God saying that out loud. Li gave a short laugh. Understood, then I shall name the Council of Elders' requests. There are two. First, Primavera will bring its unjustly inflated labor wages back to the level they were before last year. No. That's the main cause for all the trouble in Chinatown. We would like that fixed immediately. And the second, we want you to immediately transfer 30% of the City 23's special offers windows to us without compensation as a sign of friendship. Oh, what is this? This isn't negotiating. This is not how you negotiate. You don't be like, okay, you give us everything we want, and that's it. What? That's not negotiating. What the fuck? That's so fucking bad faith. Get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna laugh in your fucking face. This is an insult to us. There is no way in fuck does anyone accept these terms and conditions. These are so against us. There is no point. They have no leg to stand on here. We are causing trouble for them. They have to capitulate to us because they have the issue. Not even worth considering. Sneering, Richard made a dramatic gesture like Wayne. Richard was agitated, even though he was usually calm and composed, and then started reacting to this provocation. Well, this is a fucking spit in the face. This is laughable. At the sight of Richard's behavior, Wang's expression grew even more flippant. Richard, calm down. No, this is ridiculous. There's no need to let them sweep you into their pace. Richard took a sip of water to cool his burning body. Rose was starting to catch on. This was probably the technique Wang used to negotiate. This is horrible. Like, this causes someone to get up and leave. Because that's what you do here. You say, okay, then it's fucking war. And you leave. Fuck him. He toyed with his opponent, making them lose the ability to judge rationally and moving the discussion in a direction favorable to him. It's not. Okay. Maybe if it's like really stupid people, but I can be angry and rational at the exact same time. This is completely different from Li, who, though he was clever and ruthless, would face his opponents head on. They mustn't step onto the other side's ring. The gentleness disappeared from Rose's face. It took a huge amount of money to buy the special offers windows. All of that was obtained thanks to the suffering of our countrymen. We cannot hand it over for free. After all, if we dealt with each other using money, the Japanese would start calling it trade again, right? If this was trade we were talking about, China wouldn't ever have given Japan so much in gifts. After all, we had absolutely no interest in gifts of rubbish given by a country of Eastern barbarians. In that case, you must have no interest in the rubbish you call the special offers windows, yes? She got you there. You got me, you got me. Fuck off. Awkward. This time around, we want to tribute with respect. We aren't adverse to showing our respect. Still handling our special offers windows without compensation. Even if I allow it, my countrymen will not. Also, you've used the old Chinese system of tribute as an analogy, but if that's really the case, then even if we did hand over the special offers windows, what gift would you give us in return? We promise that the comfortable lives of the city folk will continue unabated. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. Yay, that's so fucking worth it. What? Hey, give me most of your shit and go back to living in fucking Pordom. And we won't mess with you again. Wow, thanks, dude. That's no different from a simple threat. Whoa, hold on there. Time out. Don't stare at me with such a scary look on your face. I'm just a messenger. I'd rather you didn't glare at me like that. As Rose's tone grew harder, Wang suddenly started joking around to smooth things over. This is stupid. He is absolutely mind-numbingly stupid. This is horrible negotiations. What is he doing? Push forward when they pull back when they push forward. No, fuck off. See, this is like, you can only do this with very certain types of people. Otherwise, this method, terrible. It is god-awful. Because if someone only pushes forward, you're fucked. Like, what are you gonna do? Surely this was Wang's technique of fighting at a fixed distance. Without letting her guard down in the slightest, Rose quietly looked into Wang's eyes. There it is. He acts like he's joking around, but his eyes aren't laughing in the slightest. Fuck him. We're done here. Like, if you're just gonna keep this little fucking game on, we're fucking done. I'm not talking to you here. We're gonna keep doing what we're gonna do, and you can jerk off in a corner or something. This was absolutely ridiculous, and you have egg all over your face. You absolute disgrace. And you just fucking lay into him. The last war on the surface, at least, ended with a humane ceasefire, out of consideration for the honor of the Japanese people, because of the Great Disaster. But let me be blunt. Japan lost the war, yes? If you feel differently, shall we start it up again, right now, here in Tokyo? I'm sorry, but if it was just between Japan and China, when it actually happened, when it was in that time period, Japan would have won. They lost because they fucked with the US. When they fuck with us, they get the fucking hammer. If they were just fucking with China, who cares? They would have crushed them. Please. Which they should have. You Japanese lost the war. Japan's the only place in the world that worms its way out of by calling it a ceasefire. The newspaper around the world announced that Japan lost the war. I have no objections on that point. Japan was defeated in the war and it was being governed by occupying forces. That's a fact. Do you really understand? Do you understand what it means to lose a war? From ancient times until the mid-20th century, war was, at its essence, nothing more than kill or be killed. In exchange for not killing them, you stole everything from defeated nations. Well, not everything. This is where, like, when you're more sophisticated and not, like, primitive with old wars, you gain advantages in the future. You gain leverage over them. Because if you can make an ally out of someone you defeat, and they can't break that treaty, you take things away from them, kind of like the treaty between the US and Japan now, you become a lot better in a better, stronger place from the winning side than if you just stripped everything and you walked out. Because doing that doesn't help in the long run. You formed unequal treaties, turned countries into colonies, and treated the people like livestock. That was common sense in the kill or be killed world of war. People living in the 21st century probably want to believe that the world's more intellectual than that. However, it mustn't be forgotten that no World Human Rights Declaration stating that humanity had abandoned colonialism was made until a short half-century ago. Furthermore, it isn't true that all the world's countries supported this 1960 Declaration of the granting of independence to colonial countries, peoples. It's probably worth remembering that several major allied countries who saved the world from the evil Axis did not vote in favor of this resolution. Japan did it too, didn't they? Japanization and so on. If that's one of the rights of the victor state, then it should have been fine for us to do it to Japan too, yes? We could have changed all aspects of your lifestyles to be Chinese. We could have made Chinese the only official language, punishing all those who talked in Japanese. We could have forced you to worship the same things we did. But we didn't do all of that. Do you know why? I don't. Because of love, brotherly love, for fellow bearers of our culture that extends back to the Yellow River civilization. If we didn't give the Japanese culture, they would still be primates living in pits. Primitives. Primates. They're the same thing. However, our ancestors gave you culture and made it so that you can live a cultural lifestyle as humans. Ah, yes. Base China. Thank you. Thank you. Suck my fucking cock. Culturally, we are like a father and a big brother to you. That is something we take pride in. Hey, how about this? You have a dynasty that lasts more than just a couple generations. Yeah, good luck. And don't shatter. And so we decided to forgive our small little brother with love during his rebellious stage. Otherwise, why on earth would we propose an unconditional ceasefire? Why didn't the Chinese military take advantage of the disaster and carry out plans for a landing on the Japanese mainland? Probably because the US would want to take that for themselves. Because of love! What could have caused this but love? You've received our love free of charge without even thanking us. You ought to stop and think about how much of your current lives are supported by our love and mercy. Oh, my brother, if you threaten them so much, even the Japanese will be stuck cowering in fear. Oh, was I threatening them? Not like I ever meant to. Sorry for threatening you. Wang stuck out his tongue and laughed. I want to cut his tongue out. Even though his face was playful, his eyes still weren't smiling. I hate him. This is the type of scumfuck I hate. Fake-ass motherfucker. So about that, what will you do? These conditions of respect the GDS is offering. Will you accept them or not? I cannot give you an immediate answer. I guess you do need the time after all. In that case, shall we call it a day for now? At that exact moment, the hour and minute hands of the clock reached their peak, and the countless clocks began their magnificent jumbled chorus. I believe there's nothing more valuable and precious than my own time. Pull out a gun, point at his head, fire. So, that will be my going away gift to you for tonight's meal. For a time, I would like you to consider how much benevolence lies behind your current lifestyles. If you do, I'm sure that feeling of gratitude will naturally rise inside of you. If those feelings turn to respect, then I think we can get along. Have you no shame? As Richard was about to lash her back, Rose quickly stopped him. And that's the GDS's position, is it? Yep. In that case, once we've established our position over the next few days, we'll give you our answer. Sure, got it. I'll be waiting. Rose and Richard rose from their seats. Regardless of what your answer is, everything that occurs as a result is your responsibility. I bear no responsibility. Please don't forget that, okay? You do. Fuck off. I hate these fucking people. I hate this guy so much. What do you mean you have no responsibility? Fuck off. Absolute cucklord. Of course, I always bear all the responsibility when I make my decision. That's unlike people like you who can't take responsibility for anything. Yo! Oh, so you can talk pretty tough. Pretty cool. Sit the fuck down! Good. That's what I'm talking about, Rose. Let's go, Richard. Good job hanging in there. Yes! Queen! Kill them all! Let's go to war! She wants it. I can feel the bloodthirst rising in her. Truly unpleasant. The two of them left at a swift pace. Wang watched them go, smiling, and as soon as their backs were out of sight, his expression changed. He returned to the cold grin of a calculating man. You're a fucking idiot. Yes, I'd rather war, because losing in a all-out war, or even winning at like a Pyrrhic victory or whatever, super bad. There's no reason for you to want to go to war here. It can only bring more pain to you than you get. You were right, little Mai. At first, I thought Madame Rose was just a figurehead. I assumed Richard was the de facto leader. That was incorrect, wasn't it? Yep, my enemy is Madame Rose. Richard has a shorter temper than I thought. He'll be easy to deal with. If we want to leave someone in power, it's him. Without the charisma supplied by Rose, the short-tempered Richard cannot hold Primavera together. Primavera will collapse and disappear without us having to fight. Honored brother, just now, you mentioned leaving him in power. Let's erase Madame Rose. However, if we leave the short-tempered Richard in power, isn't it possible you'll launch into a battle for revenge without regards for appearances? If you literally killed Rose, he would understand it's you, and they're going to war. You can't just lose a figurehead or a leader and not go to war. That's an easy declaration of war. Fuck everything else. We go hard. Blow up everything. There won't be a battle for revenge. We'll just have her disappear from a sudden unfortunate disease or accident. Ah, yes! He's stupid. He won't think of it. Let's use Hotarubi. Don't regret losing her. If she stays undercover, there should be more uses for her. The Japanese are people that tend to grow arrogant. Once they mistakenly think they're on the same level as you, it doesn't take long for them to get a puffed head. Primavera's value ended when they defeated Caleb for us. It's time we close the curtain on City 23's Mafia games. Don't you think? But personally, I doubt Primavera will prove to be such an easy foe. No, naturally my inexperience talking. I look forward to seeing your work, honored brother. Very well. I'll show you to the new era of warfare. Assassination. It's totally new, guys. Let's have a look at whether his so-called new era of warfare works on Primavera. No! Of course not. Even if he killed Rose. Even if he does. I don't think he will. Because it's only the third thing. Even if he did. There's no fucking way that they're letting him walk away alive. It will be a fight just to kill him.